So are you the business owner that says, I could really grow my business if I only had the thing? We all have the thing, right? So what is the thing? What is your thing? Today I want to talk about what I found are the 3 biggest fill in the blank answers to I could only grow my business if I had time, money, people. So here are the things. If I could only grow my business if I had more time. I would love to grow my business if I had more people. I could really grow my business if I had more money. So let's dive into those 3 today. Let's start with time. Time's an interesting one because that was a big struggle for me for a lot of part of my career because I really didn't know how to manage my time and I didn't know where to focus my time. Here's the thing. We all have a unique superpower. We all have a gift. We all have the ability to excel and be in the zone, right, at something. The zone for me is when you're working and you're diving in and hours pass by and you have no idea what just happened, but you feel so good and energized afterwards. That's the zone. So in basketball, the zone is when you just feel it and you don't even know what's happening and magic is happening around you. We have that same thing in our trade. As leaders in our businesses, whatever our superpower is, we can find our zone. Now, when we find our zone, that's where we should be spending our time. But guess what happens? Life happens, business happens, chaos happens, firefighting happens all the time. So what do? Well, we've got to figure out what are our really big 3 to 5 priorities that we want to achieve inside our businesses. So I was guilty of focusing on 1,000 things. I would have to-do list of 1,000,000 things. It was draining. Nothing would get done. And I was just like dreading doing all this stuff. Like it just sucked. Then I got clever, wiser over the years where I realized that I need to prioritize what's most important for the business. What's most important that I can be working on? Because one thing about entrepreneurship, one thing about owning businesses and running companies is that it's a piece of our life. It is not the only thing we're doing. I've got a family. I've got multiple kids. I've got a life. I love faith. I love family. I love fitness. I love fun. And that's a makeup of things that I want to be doing along with growing businesses. Growing businesses is great fun, but it's a component and it's a piece of the day. So inside that 24 hours, we've got rest time, which is sleep. We've got our self time, which is reading, whatever that is, fitness, whatever that is, family time, friend time. And then we've got our work time. So inside that work time, what should we be spending it on? Well, I think that's our opportunity to find 3-ish, maybe 3 to 5 things that you want to achieve that will really move the needle in your business. Maybe that's calling that customer. Maybe that is writing down the strategy. Maybe that is interviewing the right people. Whatever it is, it's got to align with our superpower so that we're doing things as founders, as entrepreneurs, and as business owners that align with our superpower. All right, cool. We got that done. We know our superpower. Now we know what we should be working on, those 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 things, and now we're aligned. Now, what do we do with all those other things that happen in our day? People problems. Well, people problems is number 2, in fact. So let's dive into that now. Well, we can't be doing business alone or else just we're solopreneurs. I've not ever been a solopreneur. That is not my superpower. I love getting alongside great people who have creativity, who have ideas, who have superpowers that are similar to mine and also different than mine, and growing businesses together. That's a lot of fun, and I love that, and that's what I spend my time doing. And so what about the people problem? Well, people are a big thing that we need to grow at a certain point. Now, there's a difference in growing and scaling a business. Growing a business is adding infrastructure, people, cost that then project and grow a certain revenue. Scaling a business is when you grow revenue, but you've already got the infrastructure in place and you don't need to build it. Here, we're talking about growing. I could grow my business if I had more. Point 2 is people. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, we've got to get the right people on the bus. That's number 1. And we've got to get the right people who are on the bus in the right seats. That's point number 2. Here's the thing. I've hired so many wrong people. I've hired some really amazing people. And at first, I was of the mindset to hire really quickly and I would fire really slowly. because that was a problem I had. That was a gap. That was a limit I had. I was an early founder in '07, first time business, grew that startup and exited that. But in the beginning, we got to learn it all the hard way. So I made a ton of hiring mistakes. The thing I've learned over the years, the biggest thing with hiring is hire slow. Be very patient. I know we need to move fast in our businesses, but be very patient and intentional with the people that you bring on. Culture is huge. Culture starts with us as founders. And until we get that right, we're going to wake up one day and have an organization full of people, and it's going to be a mess, and it's going to be no fun to deal with. We're going to need all these policies and crap, HR stuff, when really we could just get really intentional about hiring. My voice changed. Hiring. Then we in ourselves can make mountains move, friends. So get the right people on the bus. Now, a lot of ways you can do this. There are all kinds of personality tests, Enneagram test, find your superpower test to make sure that what you're looking for, that role that you need to have in your business, is indeed filled by the right person. Now, there's going to be a later time, we'll do this in another video, where us as the founder needs to get out of the way and let the people, the great people that we hire, do the right work, but that'll be for another day. Right now we're talking about we want to grow if we had more people, so we got to get people to execute inside of our businesses. Hire really well. Well, it's like, Andy, cool man, I can't find people to hire. I can't find good people. Okay, well, let's get creative around that. There are all kinds of different mechanisms to use, and that's an opportunity where we've got to get resourceful, which is one of the two things from getting our businesses to momentum phase, mindset and resourcefulness. We got to get resourceful about how we're looking for people. Networking, talking, partnering with other firms, other people, other companies like us. There are many, many, many things that we can do to get creative. So we got to get resourceful and creative if you just can't hire enough people, if you can't get that going. But what about interviewing? Interviewing is something, here's the thing I love about interviewing, and I had this in my very first professional job where it was a 360 interview. So that person comes in and they meet everyone in the organization. Everyone's looking for a little different thing. Everyone's looking for chemistry. Everyone's looking for team alignment. Everyone's looking for a flaw in that person that wouldn't allow them to fit into their organization. So we all have certain beliefs, limits, and expectations. The next person may have different ones. And so it's good to get a full opinion of all the people so that we can understand, hey, what's this person really about from different angles? Now, when we get that person on, we got to make sure they're in the right seat. And then we've got to make sure that they are equipped with the tools that they need. They are equipped with our expectations. So what do we expect of them? And then we got to figure out how to align the golden thread through our organization, through the new people, even if that's just one employee. Weekly email updates. Hey, here's what's going on for the week. Here's how I'm feeling. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how I'm engaging with the company. Or if it's a daily video, I've done that before, and you wouldn't believe how impactful that is for our companies when we send out a daily video message and say, hey, today we're focused on this. Let's keep going, to keep everybody rowing in the same directions. Because with lack of communication at the top, the workers will start to flee and will be off in all directions, and we're going to have to figure out how to pull the sheep back in. And that is a challenge. That is a real challenge. So we got to get the right people on the bus, and then we got to get on the right seats. Those are the two key things. All right. Time was number one. People was number two. Money is number three. What are we going to do if we don't have enough money to do all the great things that we want to do? Well, we've got to get really creative. So what are some ideas around this? Well, I've been a part of startups that have zero money. So, okay, what are we going to do? Well, we've got to get really creative about how we incentivize partners, talent, organizations to help us meet our needs. So go back to the very first thing. What is our priority in our businesses? Okay, we've got our priorities. Now, what do we need to focus on? Okay, we need more marketing. We need a leader. We need a salesperson. We need all these things, but we have no money. Okay, well, there are ways to figure that out. That's just a matter of being resourceful. Do we go and find commission-only people and really incentivize them to win so that we can get that needle moving or that flywheel turning? That's maybe an option. Do we go and find an angel investor who might want to put a little money in, who believes in what we're doing? Do we go find an institutional investor who wants to play big alongside of us? Do we go find a partner where we can share in sales, we could share in product development, we can share, but the key there is share. And I think partnerships are the biggest thing that I've learned over the years, because when I look back over my entire 20 plus year career of entrepreneurship, there's trajectory tipping point moments that were all geared toward the right partner. So we had hockey stick growth. Why? Because we had the right partner who helped us achieve that introduction to get the hockey stick growth. We had a great manufacturing facility. Why? Because we had the right partner to lead that organization. So when we have no money, it's a chance for us to get really creative. And I know money can cause a ton of stress, but I'm reading this book right now, Canoeing Through the Mountains. A good friend, preacher, small group member gave it to me. And it is awesome because it talks about leadership in the past is different than leadership in the future. And where it all starts is our mindset. Is our mindset right to take away the limits, take away the closed-mindedness, take away the beliefs, and stay open-minded to what the future holds? And so I think that's an opportunity for us, friends. So anyway, if you're stuck and you're looking to grow your business because time, people, or money are in your way, I think there are ways of rowing the canoe around those to solve those problems. And a lot of times partnership is the answer, but take away this one thing. There is always a way if we have the right mindset and we stay resourceful. All right, friends, my name is Andy Smith. Thank you for being here. I love just sharing the journey of entrepreneurship. I've been building businesses since 2007. I had multiple exits, learned a lot. In fact, I learned the most from all of the, wouldn't call them failures, we'll call them lessons, but let's call them almost failures, and have been through just about every situation, every suckfest that you can imagine. And guess what? Still here fighting today, 20 years later, and seeing the world change rapidly. And I think there's still a lot of opportunity for us to build great businesses alongside great people and make tremendous impact in this world today. All right, friends, take care. Talk to you soon, and appreciate you for being here.